Councilmember Helena Brown here, representing District A on the Houston City Council with this week's agenda report for October 31st. I voted no to 8 items out of 26. That's 31%. The first item, item number 5, I voted no to the Sobering Center, and this matter pertains to that. It's covering insurance coverage of the directors of the Houston Recovery Center, which is the Sobering Center. Item number 7 regarding security matters pertaining to the Port of Houston. We're talking about $2.3 million spent on these type of initiatives through the United States Department of Homeland Security. We got to analyze how we're spending so much money on these security type programs when we couldn't spend enough money to prevent a hurricane disaster or the like through the Port of Houston, and yet a hurricane could cause as much damage, if not more, than a terrorist attack. So there's only so much money we should be spending. A certain amounts, definitely, in that regard. But here we have over $500,000 of these funds coming from the Houston Police Department, where we have a priority to catch up on our backlog of untested rape kits and the like. So we got to focus and see how much is a wise amount of spending in this regard. The next item, number 8, is a similar item. This one's $10 million in the same regard. This is for the Urban Area Security Initiative. Item number 10, this is for the Care Houston program, $400,000, and these funds come from Houston businesses, Houston contractors that do business with the city of Houston, and if they don't cover their employees or their workers with health care, there's this system, the penalty through the city of Houston currently in place called Pay or Play, where they have to pay the city a certain amount of money, and those funds are then put towards this Care Houston program. Item number 11. This was a big matter at City Council today because this is $160,000 general revenue funds that are spent to promote a federal food stamp program. General revenue funds are very precious, and we have higher priorities. And rather than encouraging people who might or may not participate in this food stamp program and for a time fill their hunger, their need, we want to encourage business growth and job growth so that they have a job so that they can pay for their own food. That's what we need to focus on as a city. There was an ordinance passed, an amendment to the budget, where it said that this funding of this program would only come from grants and or private funds. Yet we're using general revenue funds in contradiction to the ordinance that we passed. And so unfortunately they passed this regardless of the fact that this was in violation to the ordinance that we had passed back in July. Item number 12, $168,000 to operate and maintain a homeless management information system or database. Item number 13, $133,000 for strategic homeless planning. Here we go again, more funds into planning and discussing when we know what works and does not work in terms of fighting homelessness. For instance, transitional housing, moving people away from homelessness rather than cycling them in and out through temporary housing and the like. Item number 14, $50,000 to assist 50 low-income people with rental assistance. And finally, this matter, I had to step away from the council session on this and abstain as it pertains to District A. $500,000 park project for District A, as well as another $600,000 park project for District I. The same contractors covering both parks. And whereas we see this throughout the year, projects for across the city of Houston, hundreds if not even millions of dollars spent on these type of high dollar parks being constructed. We got to focus on priority as a city. Infrastructure, pro-business, more jobs, rather than spending precious dollars on these expensive park projects. Of course, in a sense, District A deserves a piece of the pie as long as they're continuing to spend this type of money citywide, but at the same time, out of respect for our constituents and their priority needs, which we continue to discuss, and as recently as Tuesday morning, the Tour 17 matter, flooding concerns and the like, we need infrastructure in the city of Houston, District A in particular, Long Point and Gessner, flooding on Bunker Hill Road, and that's why I broke away from session to abstain on that matter for the Schwartz Park. And that's the report for this week. I see you next week.